Hoyas. This is a Hoya. This entire cabinet is Hoyas. That's a Hoya. That's a Hoya. And this. And this. And this. And this. And everything in here. Hoya Hate will not be tolerated. Okay, but I do need to do something about all of these. I love my little stained glass greenhouse so much, but truly every single Hoya in here is struggling a little bit. I got all of these months ago and never repotted them. So I think it's time to now. And I'll be using this opportunity to answer some more questions that you guys all submitted for my Ask Me Anything. To pick up my daughter from school, so we'll see how quickly I can do this without getting interrupted. I've been asked how I organize my plant stuff. This is one of my carts. And I got this because it has wheels, so I can take it with me and has everything that I need. Where's my plant mat? I also have 6 huge plastic bins in here, but ignore that mess. I broke a leaf. This is the part where I cue the wah, wah, wah. Okay, Hoyas. I did not think I had very many Hoyas, but now that I did the roll call for all of them, I guess I kind of have a lot. These actually all came as like rooted cuttings for several months, and they are all busting from the seams. I'm glad I labeled them because I would not remember what any of them are. Hoya EPC774, super long vine. Hoya BSG-121622-DS14. This one bloomed recently. You can see the peduncle right there, which is crazy because I've had some Hoyas for years that never bloomed, and this one I had for a few months and it bloomed. The label faded on this one, so I have no idea. This one is going through something because it has all these like spots on it. They're not mushy or anything, so it's probably just from the fact that it is root bound, poor airflow, watering issue, or all of the above. I just snapped this. Hoya Pandurata, Polyneura silver. The leaves are not supposed to be wrinkled like this. This desperately needs a bigger pot. This is what a Polyneura's leaves are supposed to look like. Little mermaid tails. This one also bloomed not too long ago on the underside of the leaves. And this cutie is a Hoya VL9. All of these look like crap. I feel so bad. So let's fix them. I'm gonna repot all of these, trellis a few of them, and then we'll see how it goes. Soil. I'm gonna just use a regular houseplant mix in these bottom watering pots. These have a bunch of air holes all throughout the inner pot, and the idea is that air circulates, so if the roots grow out, the air will essentially prune the roots automatically so it can stay in this pot for longer. And this is the reservoir cup, which will keep it watered. Good healthy roots. Did this bloom without me knowing? Oh my god, it totally did. That just shows you how closely I pay attention to some of my plants. What's interesting is a very common adjective people use to describe me is quirky. And TRELEAF just launched their quirky parent bundle, and it's basically made for me. And thank you to TRELEAF for sponsoring this video today. This bundle includes some of my favorite TRELEAF pieces. All of their plant stakes are handcrafted, stylish, and functional. I love that they give your plants a little bit of personality and support, like a bra. And here's what you get in the quirky plant parent bundle. The Grand Cactrella, which you can paint and customize however you want, by the way. The regular Petrella trellis. This is perfect for Hoyas or any other quirky vining plants that can't stop reaching for the light. The Flora Bear trellis. I love this one. Another blank canvas piece you can decorate to match your vibe. Although I've always just liked the bare natural wood look, but I've seen people paint theirs and it looks really cute. And then you've got a set of Terra Green saucer trays, 2 of them. They're minimal, sturdy, and actually protect your surfaces and keep your plant displays looking elevated. I love how creative this bundle feels. You can personalize the trellises, gift the whole set to a friend, or just treat yourself. I've been using TRELEAF's products for a while now, and I always love how they give such a playful, artistic touch to my plants. So if you're looking for a gift that's totally unique, sustainable, and plant parent approved, check out the quirky plant parent bundle from TRELEAF, and I'll have a discount in my description. Okay, Hoya 101. If your Hoya has bloomed in the past, don't ever trim off that vine because Hoyas will always bloom again in that same spot. That peduncle will produce new blooms every single time. And I have gotten questions about my soil choices. And big box store soils aren't necessarily inherently bad, but they are often infected with fungus gnats. So the best way to handle that is to just always constantly be treating your plants for fungus gnats. And I add specific drops to my watering can that I'll show you when it comes time to watering. Oh, this one's not coming out. Oh, and for these, I always just forget to fertilize them. So I added some root crack when I was repotting, which are beneficial microorganisms that just help the plant roots absorb nutrients. I may have to rip off these roots. Sorry. Oh. This houseplant mix has biochar, pine bark, compost, and sand. So overall, it's just a really healthy mix. And in terms of how to get Hoyas to bloom, there's no shortcut, but there are things you can do to encourage the conditions, which I feel like is no different than any other plant care tips. But you want to give the Hoya lots of light. Every plant needs way more light than you typically think that they need. Where's my little shovel? Oh. Hoyas will also appreciate a little bit of higher humidity, which is why I do have a bunch of Hoyas specifically in my Hoya cabinet. And I repotted a bunch of Hoyas a few months ago. Several of them bloomed for the first time because of the better conditions that it was in. And then the last thing is allowing Hoyas to climb. Hoyas are climbers in nature. And so by giving them the support to be able to attach to something and climb, like this one keeps knocking over, that can help encourage them to bloom because you are really replicating the natural environment that they live in. This one, I will definitely need to trellis it. It keeps falling. So light, humidity, and giving Hoya something to climb. So I'm gonna give this one a trellis. And even though I wrap this downwards, I'm gonna wrap it back in an upwards direction so that that growth point can be pointing up to the sky. And that's where the bloom was. And this one is good to go now. It looks so much happier climbing up. What time is it? I gotta go. So it's been a minute. This is why everything takes me 3 to 5 business days to do. Also, I know it looks like I'm dressed for a completely different climate because when I started this project, it was freaking hot. And today it's raining. So for these guys, I did water them and I watered them from the top, let them drain, and these pots are pretty heavy now. How these specific pots work is these are bottom watering pots, not self-watering. And there's an important distinction because this outer pot, you're not going to keep this filled with water the whole time like you typically would with self-watering. I watered this completely once. I'm gonna let it all dry out. And once the pot feels completely light, I'm going to fill up water in the bottom all the way up to like the bottom of the sun figure. And then it'll bottom water from here on out. But again, making sure that there's always a drying out period between waterings, like you do with any other houseplant. Ooh, these look so, okay, these leaves look so much healthier and better now that they've been repotted and watered, by the way. This one still looks a little wrinkly, but it's gonna need some time to recover and adjust to its new environment. Okay, now these remaining 3 are like begging to be repotted now. So let me move on to them. And my kids also really want this table cleared of all the plant stuff so that they can go back to using it for playing. Where's my pots? Did they put it somewhere? Where are the pots?
6.5 hours later.
Oh, thank you. I have white, clear, and purple. Not a big fan of the purple, but if it fits it, ooh, I think I'll just keep it in this other white pot then. I like everything monochromatic. I did get a few questions about my kids and if they like plants as much as I do and how I got them to not mess around with it. I definitely think they appreciate plants because they've been around it their whole life, but they definitely have their own interests. But yeah, in terms of messing with plants, they never really did that. Not as babies or toddlers. Oh, this one's hard to get out. Ugh. must vacuum. And I think a big part of that is because they've just been around it so much that plants are not novel to them. But if you do find your kids kind of playing around with your plants in ways that you don't want them to, I would say bring them in on the process, because my kids help me water, they help me repot, and because they know how to take care of it, they'll never go around and mess with my plants. I think it's like the same thing as taking care of pets. When you know how to take care of an animal, they're much less likely to mess around with them in naughty ways. These are very dry. This just shows you how resilient plants are, because these are so dry and so little soil, but they've been living like this for months. Let's get them situated. And while I'm 100% positive the soil does not come with fungus gnats, I will show you how I treat my water to prevent gnats. I use death drops, and this basically contains the same active ingredient as mosquito bits, but in a much more concentrated form. And you just simply put in a few drops into your watering can and water it in. But with gnats, I like to do a multi-layered approach because a single gnat can lay hundreds of eggs. And so unless you get the larva and all the adults, it's gonna be just a repeating cycle of them hatching over and over again. So water with the drops. I also have plugins in my walls. You can use sticky traps as well to capture the adults, because the drops are meant to target the larva living in the soil. But the coolest thing I do for fungus gnats is I have pings. These are carnivorous plants that feed off of fungus gnats. And they're so pretty. They come in so many varieties. You can see where they're like eating all of the gnats. Like that one is alive still. It's trying to escape. I think the only appropriate response you can have when a ping catches a gnat is, okay, these are being watered, and I feel like this one needs a trellis too, so I'm gonna stick one on it. So much better. Okay, maybe this one too, because there's only like one strand. Ooh, a circle one. So cute. It was supposed to be a quick 5-minute repot. Okay, so I had these watered overnight, so the pots are pretty heavy, so I know that everything is well watered. Let me put these into their final homes. And here is the final spread of everything that I repotted. Only 6, but somehow it took like 6 business days. Yay! So all of them obviously didn't fit inside that little mini greenhouse, so I cleared out some space on this bottom shelf, and I love it. If you enjoy my chaotic content, please subscribe and hit the bell so you can always get notified of when I post next. So if it took me 1 week to repot 6 puny little plants, how long do you think it'll take me to repot the entire bookshelf of plants upstairs?